Hello, neighbor.
Hello, neighbor.
Do I have your permission to film you and use the footage?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your name?
Sally Jo Gieser.
And can you describe yourself in 5 words?
Oh my. Describe myself in 5 words. An older woman, three, who is happy. That's 6.
Okay, that works. We can take out the A at the beginning.
Okay.
Older woman who is happy.
Yes.
Okay, tell me where you live. Describe your living situation. Who do you live with? Do you own? Do you rent? Put us in a place.
Okay. I live in Delmar, New York, which is just outside of Albany. And I live in a house. It looks from the front like a little one-story ranch, but there's a surprise when you get inside. There's a basement that's finished and is as big as the top part of the house. So it's really a 2-story house. And
Okay,
in the basement is my husband's workshop and our big TV. It's sort of like a big living room. And then everything else is upstairs, which is 3 bedrooms. Oh, wait, got that wrong. The basement has 1 bedroom and a bathroom in it, which is
okay.
very nice. Very nice for guests and anybody who wants to even stay longer. And then there's 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs, and a galley kitchen and a dining room and a living room, which used to be 2 separate rooms, but we knocked the walls out, so it's a very open space. And we have a very nice porch. We have a back porch. We have a very nice patio, and we would be looking at other people's houses, but there's a power line that runs through, and there's all sorts of greenery, vines and trees and shrubs. So when we're sitting on our patio, we don't see houses, we just see this green space, which is very, very. So now that the weather has warmed up and we could be out there, we're going to clean up the porch, and we usually eat most of our meals out there because it's so lovely with the birds singing and all that.
So it's just you and your husband living there.
Yes,
Okay.
but
And
we,
you own the place.
yes.
How long have you been living there?
I always forget about that, but I think it's almost 15 years now.
Okay. And how has this neighborhood changed since you've been living there?
It's very interesting because we're seeing a very sociological change in that when we moved here, there were a lot of, I would say, like later elementary, early high school children on the street. And as the time passed, it got a little noisier and they'd have parties at night. But it was all, a very close neighborhood, and we have very good neighbors on either side and across the street, which is wonderful. And we enjoy the people next door. Have a 10-year-old daughter, and she's a very fun person. And now it's just changed because all those children grew up and left home. And now we have a neighborhood with a few older people, and then couples that are in their, I would say, 20s, 30s, who are starting their families. So we see strollers and we see, little tricycles and things. It's a street that everybody walks on, so we see a lot of people walking by. We don't have sidewalks. It's just a very suburban neighborhood
Okay.
with lots of nice people.
And is it people who are mostly owning or renting in that area?
Oh, definitely owning.
Okay. Okay. What's your favorite thing about living there?
I think it's a closeness to everything. For many years, we lived out in the country and we commuted to a great distance, a long distance for us to church and shopping and all that. And now we're right in the middle of everything, and yet we're in a very tree-filled green area. But in 5 minutes, I can be at the grocery store, and we've sort of gotten most of our doctor. We've started going to doctors that are much closer to us, and so it's a very convenient thing because I don't drive anymore. I mean, I could if I had to, but I choose not to. And we're trying to be more selective about driving at night. So it's a big change, but again, it's a very convenient place, and that is so nice.
Tell me what a good life looks and feels like.
A good life,
Yeah.
what I've got.
Okay.
A good life is having a safe place to live, having good friends, um, and having the ability to go places and do things. And also, to me, it's having a lot of alone time. And I'm not somebody that needs to have people around to be happy. Um, I once told my father, when way back when we didn't even have children yet, I said, Chuck and I would just love to live somewhere out in the woods and raise our own food. And he said, that would be a waste of all your education and your training. And that is true. I mean, that's sort of in a way, a selfish choice instead of sharing your life with somebody else.
Unless you're out there writing a book at the same time.
That's true.
There are ways of sharing.
There are ways of sharing, but um, he had a very good point.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge you're facing in your life right now?
Well, I have Parkinson's, and that is a big challenge because I never know in any given day who I'm going to be and what I'm going to be able to do. And I'm fighting it, but it's getting more debilitating. So how to live with that and keep going. And again, we're in a place where there's a wonderful support group. In fact, it's last week, and we got sort of busy with the support group. We had a picnic for all the people with Parkinson's in the Albany area, and it was we had a shelter and big tables, and everybody just talked and visited, and we were at different stages of decrepitude. Is that a word? Decrepitude. You know what I mean,
Because
anyway.
now you just said it.
Yes, okay. I mean, if it's not a word, it is now. Okay. So, I think that is the biggest challenge because you don't know how to plan. And, but again, adjusting to not driving is a big adjustment. But again, if we didn't have somebody to help us out, all we do is call the local car service and they're there. And it's all other retired people who, decide, well, I'll just drive car for a while. And so we get around.
Are they volunteers?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Wish I could remember the name of them, but anyway, it's just there's a lot in place for people that are retired or people that are on their own or pick up a phone and call and there's somebody to take you. We're very fortunate.
What's your favorite vegetable?
It used to be broccoli, and then my husband has to have vitamin K in his food, I believe it is. And so broccoli is one of the easiest things to fix. I'm really tired of broccoli.
Okay.
So I think my favorite vegetable right now is probably tomatoes.
Okay.
Well, I won't share them with you.
No. How do you spend the majority of your time?
Majority of my time. Well, I feel like some days I sleep a lot,
Okay.
which is really true. I could just lay down at the drop of a hat and say, I'm going to take a little nap and I'm gone and I wake up. But I think the majority of my time is just taking care of myself, my husband, my house, and spending time with friends.
What do you wish you had more time for?
Reading.
Say again?
Reading.
Reading. Okay.
I mean, I used to read books a lot, and now I'm more a magazine reader, which is so
Okay.
dumb because magazines are sort of frivolous in many ways. But I'm trying to get back to sitting down and reading a book. Things take a lot longer to do. So just living takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Do you read books on paper, in a Kindle? Do you do audiobooks? How are you ingesting your books?
I would love to be able to do audiobooks, but I really don't. I don't assimilate things that way. I need to go through my eyes
Okay.
instead of ears, and so I've never done an audible book. And I would much prefer a book to anything else.
To a Kindle even.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What do you believe will happen to you personally when you die?
I will go to heaven.
Okay.
And
What is something you know more about than most people?
that's a very strange question. What do I know? Say it again.
What is something that you know more about than most people?
Do people actually answer this question?
Yes.
What do I know?
Although honestly, Midwesterners have the hardest time with it.
Really?
Yeah. It was
People,
not a hard question on the West Coast at all. I'm
hmm,
fascinated by that.
yes, that is very interesting. Although it's funny, I don't consider myself a Midwesterner anymore.
Right?
I haven't lived there for years and years, but I know my sister and I were in a museum in New York City, and the man said, "You two are from the Midwest, aren't you?" And we looked at him like, "What?" And my sister had been gone from that Northwest for years and years by that time. He said, "Oh, I can tell by your accent." And I said, "Oh, people from the Midwest don't have an accent. We just speak English." And I still feel that way. I don't feel like I have an accent because I just talk plain Midwestern talk.
Yeah.
So,
So in that plain Midwestern way, it's hard to say, this is my area of expertise. This is something I know more about than most people. But but there are things that you know more about than most people, I'm betting.
I think I know how to be adaptable more than most people because I've had to do so much of it.
Okay.
For many years, we moved every couple of years, and it wasn't just moving down the street; it was moving to a whole different part of the country, different culture. So I had to, yeah, I think I have had to be very adaptable, and so it makes it that change doesn't bother me as much as it might change bother some people because I've survived many changes.
Okay. Tell me something that you've learned recently.
Oh boy, something I've learned recently. I think I'm trying to learn how to interject myself into things because it's hard. I
Hmm.
talk more slowly, my voice is softer than it used to be. And I just feel like I'm sort of off in a corner listening to other people. And I don't like it being that way, but it's what it is. And so I do much better one on one than in a big group of people. And you get sort of lost in the people.
Yeah. So are you learning that from other people, from trial and error? How are you gaining that skill?
Just trial and error. Um,
Okay.
see what happens. Trying to think of a good example. I'm not coming up with one right now, but I just adaptability is an important thing.
Yeah. So do you have access to the healthcare that you want and need, and how not?
I have so many doctors, and I mean, there's two teaching hospitals in Albany, at least two. So we have very good access to health care because there's training doctors at the same time. And I think I have 6 specialists, and with the exception of one, they're all really great. And I feel like they know me, or at least they're good at faking it.
Okay. And are you getting this through Medicare, or how is that happening?
We have health insurance,
Okay.
and that is no, the whole health aspect of our life is very well taken care of.
Okay.
It's just trying to keep all the doctors straight. So I actually I carry in my wallet not only a list of my medications, but a list of my doctors and their telephone
Wow.
numbers. Because if you're incompetent or you're in an accident or something, you can just pull out that slip and say, here's my doctors, here's my medications. And
Makes it easier.
it does, it does. And we've also sort of we've changed doctors, so we have most of them are really close. There's one building in town that has a lot of different doctors in it, and I've tried to get into the practices in that building. But it happens to be less than 10 minutes from our house, which is nice because for a long time we lived a long distance. And it made every trip to the doctor, a day-long process by the time we got there and did the appointment and got home. So
It's because you're in town anyways.
yes,
Yeah.
that was it.
When's the last time you read a whole book?
If you ask me what it is, I won't get in trouble.
I'm going to ask you what it is. Should I ask you what's the last time you read a book worth remembering?
That's I have such a bad memory at this point that sometimes when I get home from being somewhere, I can't even remember where I was. No, it's not quite that bad. I can't just say, oh, and then this happened. I have to reconstruct it. And right now I'm drawing a blank on a book, but it's sitting next to my bed. So
Can you think of a book that you would recommend that you really loved?
I would say it was a Michener book. I am just having a hard time recalling right now. Sorry.
If you remember it, say it again.
Okay,
Like we can come back is what I mean.
right.
Okay. Describe a good person.
A good person. I have a lot of good persons in my life, but I think a good person is someone who cares for others, a person who is kind, a person who's dependable, and a person who's fun. I just had a friend visiting for last week, and usually when we're together, we have an adventure. We'll go hiking or some such thing, and we've had a number of adventures. Some good and some bad. She lives in the city, so she comes up from Astoria, Queens, and so she's the city mouse, and I'm the country mouse, because previously we did live out in the country. But this time I was not doing well physically or mentally either. And she just sort of took over, and she was doing the cooking and answering the door and all the things. And we just, and then we both wake up early in the morning. And so it's somebody who really enjoys life. That makes a part of it, being a good person.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Oh, breakfast is fine.
Now we're back to remembering again.
Oh, dear. Well, we had it very quickly because I have a young friend, She's a grandmother, but she's very young compared to me.
Okay.
She comes once a week to help with cleaning, and so we'd gotten distracted from getting breakfast ready. So before she came, my dear husband Chuck made got an egg and got a nice little breakfast. So we had an egg and some lovely bread from a bakery halfway between New York City and here. And that was our breakfast.
What's your very favorite breakfast?
Granola and yogurt.
And how often do you have that?
About 4 times a week.
Okay.
Homemade granola, though.
Homemade granola.
Yes.
Store-bought yogurt.
Yes.
I heard something about berries on it this time.
Yes.
Yes. Because company. Tell me something really specific you love here on planet Earth that makes you happy you're alive.
Being out of doors.
Okay.
I just love to be out of doors. It doesn't have to be fancy place. It could just be outdoors.
Do you have a favorite environment ecosystem? Like if you were going to seek something out outside, where would you go?
I would go to a lake or a stream,
Okay.
and I would like to have some hills. See, I'm not a Midwesterner anymore. You take that flat stuff. But yeah, it would definitely involve water and a change of altitude or it's a
So
thing.
has the book popped back into your head? We were on Michener.
Yeah, there's one that's really fat.
Most of his are really fat.
Yeah. Um, the funny thing about that book is I never finished it because I didn't want it to end.
Oh,
So I just never finished. I didn't read the last maybe 4 pages or something. Okay, archaeologists went all the way back to the beginning of time.
oh, wow.
It's probably on the shelf behind me.
Did you just turn the light up?
No, I just turned around from the light.
Well,
What
that's
happened?
interesting because all of a sudden when you turned around, the bookshelf lit up.
Oh, it's funny. There must be a ghost down here.
I know, right?
The ghost of the guest room playing with the light switches.
So if you got a checklist when you paid your taxes and you could say to the government, these are my three top priorities, this is what you get to spend my part of the money on, what would those three priorities be?
Well, it wouldn't be war.
No, we're going to get to the no's in a minute.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I would say please spend my money on people in need, improving our parks, national parks, that whole area of life, making it more accessible to people. Did you say three?
Yep.
I don't know that the government spends money at all. I mean, we're just so out of touch with what's really happening in this world
Yeah.
that what is the government doing?
Well, that's part of the
Besides
question.
part of-
So it would be good if it was spending money on helping people in need and on the national parks and forests. And what else would you like them to be spending money on?
on relationships with other countries.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's so important because I think we've lost a lot of our friend relationships among countries. And that's really sad.
Yeah. What would you not like us spending the money on? Three things that are not your priorities.
I am totally drawing a blank on that one.
Well, you said war,
Yeah,
so no money for wars.
no money for wars. Um, no money for things that like more buildings, more we've got enough buildings.
Okay.
And could you give me give me multiple choice? Oh dear. Just a minute.
You have a much prettier cup than I do,
Yes.
but mine doesn't break in a covered wagon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but this one is blue. That counts for a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little bit heavy.
No, I was actually admiring it. I was like, that's a lovely glass.
Well, it replaced the ones I'd had for years, and they finally broke, and I said, okay, we've got to go and get new glasses. So we did. You're never too
So
old to get new glasses.
no wars. I'm waiting for new glasses to come in the mail. No wars and no more big buildings. What else?
Oh my. I can't come up with anything. I, I'll leave it a blank and you can fill in the blank.
If I'm going to fill in the blank, I'm going to say corporate subsidies.
Okay, let's not have any of those either.
Okay.
We shouldn't be subsidizing anybody who's got money.
I mean, that's very few people say that, and it surprises me.
Hmm.
And so I pop it in there any chance I get.
Okay.
How many living beings are you responsible for keeping alive?
My responsibility,
Yeah.
I would say one.
Okay.
That's the one I live with.
Okay.
It's the one I have anything to do, ability to do for because
Okay.
everybody else is far away. Well, I shouldn't say far away. We've got a group across the river, not too far away. I have no responsibility for keeping them alive.
Right.
They are
Okay.
keeping themselves
So
alive.
it's just you and your husband.
Yes.
Yeah. No pets.
No pets.
No
But it's really
pets.
nice. We have lots of dog people, and we have little tiny dogs that come to visit with their owners, and we have this new grand dog who is beautiful, but he is so rambunctious. He's just got too much energy for a small house. But and I think it's been decided that we should not be asked to dog sit him because he'd probably pull us down the road and run us over. So, which is sad because I'd love to have him take care of him, but
Yeah.
he
How
is
big is he?
he's a German Shepherd size because he's a
Okay.
German Shepherd, but he's black. He's totally black,
Okay.
and he has the biggest teeth. You don't want to tangle with that dog's teeth, but he doesn't try to bite anybody. So he's really a lovely dog. He's just very energetic. Give him
And
a
how
couple.
old is he now?
I think he's about a year.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
should.
do you feel well represented by your politicians? And let's start locally and then go state and then go federal.
I think locally we have a very good situation,
Okay.
and the town supervisor came, which is the top person,
Okay.
came to speak to a group at church, and I was so impressed with the way he looked at his job, the way he looked at the community, the things that he was interested in. Um, we just have good people
Nice.
that are, you know, you don't feel like he's in it for the prestige or the money or anything. He's in it because he really likes this area
Hmm.
and really wants it to be a good place for people to live.
Nice.
That's a good thing.
So at the state level then in New York?
I would say yes, because of the people from here. There are other parts of New York that we have some attachment to where it's not so good. But here I would say we have a very good relationship.
And then at the federal level?
How hard do you want to go?
Well,
I feel like we have a very inept president, an embarrassment president, which is a terrible way to look at the leader of your
yeah.
country. I just don't know why he is not being impeached and sent back to wherever he came from. I mean, it's just his whole persona, his language. If I had young children, I wouldn't let them watch the president give a speech. Which is horrible to say. I mean, you should look up to your president. You should feel like he's a good leader, and we just don't have that right now. And because nobody works at getting rid of him, I feel like they're part and parcel of the problem.
Yeah.
So, what they're doing in Washington is, to me, seems like they're mostly arguing with each other, or putting each other down, which is sad.
Putting money in their pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beyond me because I mean I've always looked up to the president and being the daughter of immigrants. I mean, being able to vote, being able to do all these things were very precious to my parents, and they passed that on to me. And but how do you respect what is happening now?
Yeah.
Not.
What do you think your dad would say about it?
Oh my gosh, he'd be inflamed. He'd be taking his Chicago Daily News and beating the table with the thing. I can't understand what's going on in this country. Well, he would be very verbal.
So, what kind of person would you be most excited to vote for?
I would love to go back to the Jimmy Carter model.
Okay.
Somebody who just always stayed the same, always was very honest.
Hmm.
Um, and just the way he's lived out his life after presidency shows what kind of person he is.
Yeah.
And it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Is there something in your heart that you really want to do, some big dream?
Oh my, I've done so many things. How could I? No, if I never left this house, I would be happy.
Okay.
As, as long as people came here.
Okay.
They seem to do a lot of. Um, that one of the neighbors said, "You always have people at your house." I said, "Well, we're in a very easy to get to place, and
Yeah.
the interstate goes not too far from here, and we just got people that pass by and then local people." So,
Hmm. And
um,
as somebody who likes a lot of alone time, does that feel overwhelming or is it a good balance right now?
it's a good balance right now.
Okay.
I mean, I would be happy with a few more overnight guests because that's when you really get into talking and sharing your lives, other than a quick stop through for a meal or something. But
What's the biggest challenge you feel like we're facing as a country?
staying out of war,
Okay.
I really, as a grandmother to three young men, the whole idea of war and draft and everything, that's a very scary thing for me. Because I was young during World War II, I was very young, but I still was very aware of what was going on because it affected people on the block that we lived.
Yeah.
You know, because their fathers and their sons were off fighting, and some didn't come back. And so to me, that is something I hope we can avoid.
Well, and then again with Vietnam,
Right.
I mean,
I was in college.
you were of that age. I mean, that
Yeah.
was affecting your peers.
Yeah, and it was interesting because being in high school and college at the time, this is really a sad thought, but we were so much more involved in what we were doing you know, to really know what was going on, and until something happened and somebody didn't come back, and then it was like, oh, we're in a war, but it wasn't on our country, it wasn't on our land.
Yeah.
I think if it comes to that, we're not ready.
Yeah. I think, I mean, it's been since the Civil War. I mean, there was Pearl Harbor, but basically it's been since the Civil War, since there's been a war that's affected Americans directly at home.
Right,
And I think we have completely forgotten what that means to people
right.
in a country that's at war. Like, it's like, well, you don't have to see it.
I
Um,
think that's why when the planes flew into the towers in New York
right.
City, I mean, that was such a wake-up call. It was like, wait, not thinking that all the way through the past wars, World War One, two, people in Europe, it happened on their doorstep, in their home.
Yeah.
We just have been separate from all that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was actually strangely bigger than Pearl Harbor in terms of the national consciousness.
Hmm.
Yeah. What do you feel like the biggest challenge we're facing is as a world?
Not to use up all our resources, not to ruin everything with um, people building where it doesn't need to be built, people destroying the environment. We're just being very selfish
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Are there any of these data centers going in up where you are?
Yes. And
Okay.
they're being fought.
Yeah.
It's like,
How
well,
are
we
how
all,
are the fights going?
yeah. And here there's ideal places for them because well, there's just a lot of open space. There's a lot of emptiness around us, even though it's a congested area, considering that we're so close to Albany, to the capital of the state. We're so close to New York City. Um, it's just a different world.
Yeah. So if you could ask everyone watching this one question, what would it be?
Wait, your questions get harder and harder.
The last one.
Oh dear, if I could, what would it be? One question. Boy, my mind goes so many different directions. Um, because there's the whole spiritual side of us, there's the whole political side of us, there's the whole personal relationship side of us. Something popped into my head and it was, have you told the people in your circle, and the circle doesn't mean this circle, it means this circle, how much you care about them?
So if you're watching this, have you recently told the people in your big circle how much you care about them? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm finished.
You're finished.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to hit stop.
Okay. Bye.